Are you having a wank?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
How's it going?
Slow.
Oh, finished.
Welcome to the Year of Shame podcast. My name is Toby. I am joined today by my erstwhile colleague, Richard Forder.
Hello, good evening and welcome.
And our special guest host this month. Considering we haven't recorded for a while, we thought we'd bring in someone a bit special. So we are joined by Mr. Matthew Moore. Say hello, Matthew.
Hello.
That's him.
You may know him from other podcasts, such as
you
the
might have heard
Midlife
his
Gamer.
dulcet tones on any other podcast that will have him ever, as well as the Midlife Gamer podcast. And he's come to make fun of us for not being able to buy any games this month. Well, this year, but he's making fun this month. So, thanks for joining us, Matthew. And thank you for making the time. Rich.
Toby.
I wanted to start with you and your thoughts and or feelings
About how we are doing so far.
how we're doing so far this year.
I am feeling pretty good because we're over halfway through, and I reckon potentially that's why I said just over halfway through. I think the only thing that possibly, well, it's not even a wobble because it's coming out later in the year, is I've had everything Borderlands 3 going on. I just hope that nothing comes out between now and September the 9th, 13th, sorry. 13/9, that's where it's gone. And nothing comes out between that day that I might want, because that's the joker. It's penciled in.
Penciled in.
I say penciled because there could be, there's always options.
Is there?
But yeah, there is. I don't know what they might be.
Well, you could always go and buy Anthem.
Yeah, and then go and piss myself.
Yeah. People made fun of us for not being able to buy Anthem, and look at them now.
Yeah. Look at them now. The boot's on that proverbial other foot now.
I'll tell you what, I was looking at the games that came out this year and thinking, like, how disappointed would I have been if I couldn't have played all of these day one? And as I was looking through them, I thought,
Not very.
But also, these are dead cheap now. These
Yeah.
games are so cheap,
They-
and you see the ones like Anthem that, like, you knew that to get the best out of it, you'd have had to have been there day one.
Yeah.
But you look at it now and you think, like, do you know what? I'm probably 60 quid better off, to be fair.
There's a bank balance that's better off than...
Look at it this way. I mean, by the time we finish Year of Shame, people will be offering us money to take Anthem.
Yeah.
You'll go to buy it on your PlayStation. It'll be like, here, download it and have £10 credit.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't get it on PlayStation anyway. It was slightly faster on Xbox.
Ah. I didn't know you were that kind of a podcast.
We're not, but Toby's that kind of a person.
Do you know what, Rich? That's very true.
I've got both, so I can be joyous.
Well, I've got both, but Xbox is shit.
Yeah, it is, mostly. That's why I try and buy big games for it, to try and convince myself I'm going to play it.
I don't care. As long as it's good. I don't care what system it's on.
That was very nearly like a modern day with nail moment. For those of you who are listening and won't be able to see it, Rich is currently quaffing some lovely white wine on this balmy evening, and he literally just took the glass away from his face and went, I don't care. And it was beautiful. And it evoked with
nail moments, yeah.
In the most beauteous way. So, anything else, mate? Anything else that's been going on with you? What have you been?
I've been chipping away at the list. I don't know whether we need to keep it to pile progress, but
yeah, save it.
I'm not.
Don't shoot your bolt this early.
I'm not. I'm not worried about being tempted into buying things. I think.
Yeah.
What's good is this far in, I think you've kind of decided how you're going to tackle new releases and the
You've got
potential.
over the hump.
Yeah, I think when you first start out, you sort of think, oh God, if something comes out, how am I going to deal with it? Am I going to panic myself and spend the Joker or what? I think this far in, you just sort of start to look at things and go, yeah, well, it's probably going to be a bit shit. I'll just make sure that somebody else vets it for day one. And if it needs fuckloads of patches, I'll hang on. If it's still good after the patch, I'll consider buying it. If it's if it's absolute bilge even after the patch, I'm looking at you, Assassin's Creed Unity. Maybe I'll just give it a miss.
Yeah, you don't want any more hats running along the floor.
No, you don't, exactly. No. So this far in, I think you've kind of got used to what the process is, and you've set your stall out. You know what you want to get involved in, and even back like now, I mean, I know Steve bought Ace Combat early doors.
He sure fucking did.
But
he sure fucking did.
Fuck me, I think I was January, and he just went, hey,
February.
That's going on.
February.
That's going in there.
Literally, he prematurely
shot his stuff.
A year of shame-ulated.
I think I've got a system. Let's put it.
I've got a system.
TLDR. I've got a system, and it's not fucking getting bust.
Okay, beautiful. All right, now because we have a guest, I'm going to go next, and then we're going to go over to our guest host. So I've been playing a lot of pile progress. That's pile progress. I won't talk about that. What I will talk about is how I've been really racking my brains as to a Joker. Like, I've got to August, nothing has even remotely tickled my pickle. It's not even got a feather anywhere near it. And I'm sitting here thinking, maybe I'll just fucking buy FIFA. Maybe I'll just fucking buy FIFA. Because
it's been a while, why not?
It's been a while. Nothing so far that I have seen that's coming out this year is going to make me go, oh. If I'm not on that hype train.
And I guess with FIFA's like a known quantity, isn't it?
It is. I know that I'm going to get to play a football game with new kits. There you go.
Not much else has changed.
Not much else has changed. New kits. And yeah, so it's a completely known quantity. I know that it's one of those things that you can pick up and put down. The issue is that it is the most counter year of shame intuitive game there ever is, because it's one that you can just pick up and put down. So you don't need to think about putting in the hours to get something off your pile, because you can just go, oh, we're going to play FIFA.
Yeah, that makes it. You can't finish FIFA in inverted
exactly.
Can you?
Well, unless you're Cy Stevens.
Oh, fuck off.
Who said he finished FIFA as part of his pile of shame this year?
Is that physically not possible? Is that saying you beat World of Warcraft and The Sims in one day?
Yeah.
No Man's Sky, mate, completed it.
I get what he was saying.
I've been playing Elite Dangerous, and I fucking finished it.
There's a story mode where you follow Alex Hunter in his journey to the England team.
The story mode.
You can finish the story mode, but you can't finish FIFA. You can't.
So are you saying that? But if you I don't know, because there's those weird year of shame things. So did he categorize it to say that he hadn't 5-starred it, but I'd played the story?
Yeah.
And there's stuff to mop up, which is like exhibition mode and fucking all multiplayer. Of course, I'm never going to finish it.
Or just career mode. You know, you'll be going forever. Players that don't even exist anymore.
There's probably some poor sod out there who still, every single year of shame, he fails because he's still playing SimCity. Actually, no, in which case, that means he wins.
He wins, yeah. He hasn't bought a new game because he's still playing SimCity. Yeah, I would be interested to know, actually, how many of our MLG members are literally nowhere near the current gen because they're too busy trying to finish things from a long time ago.
I'm kind of partly in that thing. So
I've got
World of Tanks to play.
You've got World of Tanks to play, but that's still current gen, isn't it? It wasn't out before that, was it?
No, it was.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
I'm talking about the idea that I can finish it.
Is someone still trying to finish Spore somewhere? Like,
oh look, I've got Populous. I'm still trying to finish it.
Or fucking Black and White. Fuck's sake! Like, is that still going on? I would like to know about it. I would like to know about it. I would like to shake that person by the hand and not buy them a beer because they need to be back at home trying to finish those fucking games.
You need to ask where the carer is.
They'll say, "Is that something I've missed? Is that an unlockable?
Is that a DLC?"
Oh, good. Okay. So, we've caught up on where Richard and I are currently at. So, Matthew, I understand that you have come armed with a list of all the things that we've missed out on this year. And you're going to make us insanely jealous.
Or desperately relieved.
Do you know what? I think it's probably a relief. But also, as you've been talking, I've been trying to... I keep forgetting that... Because I keep thinking that Year of Shame is just about making the most of your money. So we sort of discussed, like, I didn't pick up Metro Exodus on day one because I thought, why not? And then it turns out that you're not missing a fat lot. And if you want to pick it up for 15 quid in a year's time on digital download and forget about it, knock yourself out.
Well, that's part of it, you know. But the other part is working on those games that have been sitting in that pile.
I've got 2 Metro games and I want those out of the way before I buy Exodus.
Fucking 2 Metro games? I've got fucking Fallout 4, pal. With all the DLC.
Well, whose fault's that?
Mine.
Yes.
What else have I got? Well, there was another big one, wasn't there? I can't remember what
well,
it was.
yeah. Oh, matron.
Willy jokes. It was Fallout 4, and I can't even fucking remember. I'm playing. Yeah, I can't remember. Sorry, Matthew, I've interrupted you.
That's all right. So I want to catch up on where we are with people's standings. So, am I right in thinking did Steve use his Joker on like Ace Combat like straight away?
Yeah,
he did.
Ace Combat
February
7, 6,
Ace
8,
Combat 7,
or whatever it is.
And not only did he do that, but we also peer pressured a listener into doing the same.
Yes.
We told him that he had no testicles until he bought it.
And he bought it, and that was
and
it.
he bought it. And he doesn't like it.
Oh, so we broke him.
You're an evil man. You're an evil man.
I am.
So do you know what? So Ace Combat. So for a Joker point of view, you two still Joker full?
We have literally got our Joker and gift still swinging in the breeze.
Mine,
Gifts as well.
As mentioned, mine's penciled in for the 13th of September when Borderlands 3 is due to release.
And mine isn't because, I mean, I'm literally just sitting here waiting for fucking Cyberpunk.
That's not this year, is it?
No, exactly.
2020.
Yeah.
Exactly. February 2020, I believe, and my birthday's in the 1st of March. So...
And my bank balance is going to be suitably saved for 2020.
Well, in which case then, let's talk about the big games that I've listed down here, which are still to come.
Let's do that.
Okay, yeah, right.
Okay, any interest in, or do you feel you'll be missing out on anything around Gears 5? Not Gears of War, it's now called Gears 5.
No, and this might sound incredibly sexist, but the female protagonist just doesn't do it for me.
For me, I'm primarily a PS player, so whilst I've got an Xbox, I can miss anything that's on the Xbox in terms of that.
I'll be brutally honest. It took me a lot of effort to get through Gears 4. I didn't enjoy it all the time.
Gears 4's on this year's list.
Yeah,
for me. So
there was some good points to the story. There was also some fucking dross.
Yeah,
and if I was the son of Marcus Phoenix, I would not be that much of a pussy.
Yeah.
So just putting that out there. So that too. Gears 5 it doesn't tickle me.
No.
I'm not invested enough in the mythology, in the lore and stuff of that to make Gears 5 a day one.
You weren't there on Emergence Day. Come on, Rich. Where were you on Emergence Day?
Probably
sucking on some emulsion.
Probably having a piss and just I don't know, play World of Tanks.
What? So you don't miss Dom at all?
Who?
Don't even start with who.
Oh.
Anyway, moving on. Borderlands 3, Rich.
Yay!
So is this your Joker?
Probably, unless something else, or like the world ends or something, pretty much.
All right. When's that out?
13th of September.
Ooh, ain't long to wait. What, a couple of weeks? 2 and a bit weeks?
Yeah. That's alright. I've been watching every trailer they release thus far.
Whereas I've never played a Borderlands.
Toby, you're missing out.
Yeah, remember we made a deal. I'm going to play it after I finish Spider-Man.
Okay.
Then I'll play through all of them next on my pile. Because I've got them all.
Well, to be fair, you'll have a right old list of stuff to go through if you've not done it by the 13th.
Well, I'm not worried about number 3 because I haven't done number 1, I haven't done
No.
pre-sequel, I haven't done Telltale, I haven't done 2.
No, forget Telltale, because that's not really Borderlandsy. It's good. It's good. I'm not denying that.
But it's good, but it's not the one.
It's good, but it's not right. But in terms of how you play the Borderlands games, which is a first-person shooter, Telltale isn't that.
Well, no, because Telltale games aren't first-person shooters. That's
exactly. So if you're going to play Borderlands 1, 2, and 3, you don't need to really bother about the Telltale versions.
I'll tell you what, moving on with first-person shooters, there's 2 more games on here that are first-person shooters coming out this year.
Go on, then.
Well, come on, who's first? Who can think of the first one? What's your go-to annual? If you're talking about FIFA, what's
Call
your
of
other
Duty.
annual game? Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I look at those faces. Were you there the first Modern Warfare? I loved it. It was perfect. It just broke out. That idea of class systems and multiplayer, it was fucking phenomenal.
Here's another little tidbit fact for you. Never played first-person shooters till I joined MLG either. And Destiny was my first one.
That pretty much mirrors my experience, Tuds.
I always found them I was like, what the fuck is this? This gun isn't in the middle of my chest. I mean, let's not have that conversation.
No.
But this gun is in the middle of my chest. But also, yeah, just didn't interest me. I was very much a third-person man up until Destiny. And even then, I think I can probably count on one hand the amount of first-person shooters I've got.
I played Call of Duty 4, was that? Briefly, and then fucking traded it in because it was wank, in my opinion.
So yeah, take that, Matthew Moore. So we think
right.
of Call of Duty on this podcast.
All right, let's try the other FPS one. And if I was in your position, this would absolutely be either a Joker or a Blag.
Okay.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm intrigued now.
I would be keen this year to play Doom Eternal.
Oh.
Do you remember that Doom game a couple of years ago? Weren't that fucking something?
That's on my
Weren't
pile.
that something?
It's on my pile.
I haven't played the updated Doom, but
I haven't played
was
it. I played
that
the
was
demo.
one of my go-to games on the Commodore Amiga.
I played the demo of the new Doom, and I've got it on disc in the cupboard of dreams. But yeah, it's probably not going to get played this year. There's too much other stuff. I mean, Spider-Man's just taken me a long time because I don't want it to end. So I'm milking every drop out of it.
The problem with bringing Matt on this podcast is he's fucking up my list. Because he's thinking about things. I just didn't think.
I just didn't think. All right, what else you got for us, Matthew Moore?
That Doom game's a consideration.
Oh, Rich, don't let him get inside your head.
Anyway, okay. How about we give you the flip side? How do you fancy a bit of a reaction with Shenmue 3?
No.
Okay.
No.
How about Death Stranding?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was.
See, look at that little face. Look at that little face. It's like, oh, Kojima stuff. I love me some of that.
We discussed that at length at the beginning of the year.
I've seen some recent demos of that. Sorry, not demos, trailer type stuff on YouTube.
I mean, it's got Mads Mikkelsen in it and Norman Reedus' bum. So what else do you want?
I'm not interested in the bum arrangement, but it looks like a good game.
Why are you not interested in the bum arrangement?
Let's not go there.
Well, I mean, butts are butts, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Butts are butts. Then butts are butts.
Keep talking.
Well, I've just said butts a lot of times. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much longer I can keep that up.
No,
I mean, butts are butts.
I like that. I've still got the PT trailer on my PlayStation 4. Kojima's games are good.
Then your PlayStation hard drive is worth twice as much as mine because I deleted it once. The last thing on this list is it's a Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, no, I
looks if that's the kind of Star Warsy kind of Dark Souls game, then maybe that could be worth a look.
No, I brought this up as a possible Joker when it first got announced. Do you remember that, Rich? Do you remember I said that? Do you remember I said it?
No, I wasn't listening to you.
No, I know. It doesn't ever happen. That's why I was calling you out on it now. So, yeah, it's got the lad from the American Shameless and from Gotham playing a Jedi. Do you not watch Gotham?
Not yet. I've got too much telly to watch.
Yeah, I've just finished Gotham. Literally, otherwise I'd be the same as you. But I've just missioned the whole thing. So yeah, it does look pretty good. But at the same time, the gameplay footage looks a lot like it's just the Force Unleashed again.
Oh, I've played the Force Unleashed and that could put me off.
I enjoyed the Force Unleashed, but I expect more from this generation.
Yeah, fair comment. Yeah.
You know, I don't want just I've got some Force powers, so I have to use them all the time.
Nah, kick him.
Sometimes I literally just want to stab someone in the dick with a lightsaber and say, "Look, you fucking learnt your lesson.
Stand down. You've been hurt."
To quote Ray Winston in one of my favourite all-time films, "Listen, mate, you're fat, and I'll fucking throw you in a river." That's what I like to do. Just stab him in the balls with a lightsaber. You're fat, and I'll throw you in a fucking river, and be done with it.
It's not for me, that one.
Yeah. No, it's a close one for me. However, this is a big however. If I'm going to get it, I will probably use my gift and get it in the season of Christmas time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds like a nice Christmas game, that does.
It does. It's a nice Christmas game. Star Wars goes with Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Totally. Do you remember when you were a kid watching Return of the Jedi on the carpet in front of the telly over Christmas?
Yeah, in front of a 2-bar fire.
Yeah. Exactly. That's literally Christmas in my brain. Return of the Jeds.
I want to quickly just run through. I also picked up the things that you missed. And out of all the things that you missed, the only thing that I picked up out of all this was Devil May Cry 5.
I played the demo. We agreed I could play the demo in an earlier episode. And it didn't grab me. And I listened to you talking about it on the podcast and I went, I think we've played different games. I couldn't get on board with the whole fucking one arm thing. Like, I was just like fucking grabby robot arm bullshit.
Was I enjoying it at the time?
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
I think you always enjoy it, don't you, Matt?
Yeah. No, well, I've never gone back to it. I've not gone back to it since.
Okay.
So for me, I've tried to, but it's just like, I spent 50 quid in it and I had a good 4-hour session. And each time I go back, I'm like, the barrier of entry of me not remembering and trying to restart. I don't have the ambition, I suppose.
You have to keep up the button dexterity on Devil May Cry, otherwise you lose it.
All right.
But we were talking in the episode where we discussed this, and I said I wasn't going to buy it, about how I actually prefer the rebooted one. I loved it. Fucking adored it. I thought it was great. I thought it was different. It was a departure from the originals in the series, which were great in their own right, but it was really cool, like the way that they just turned some of that mythology on its head. Gave you a different protagonist, slightly different combat styles, and some of the visuals for that generation were fucking fantastic.
So, you know what, Toby, you've absolutely got it right. My connection with the original was I liked the first one. Didn't play 2, didn't play 3, played 4, but then when DMC came out, that was like, that's my Dante now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
even with the callbacks to the original, everything about that and it was, gosh, was it Ninja Theory?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Gosh, didn't they do what was the really early PlayStation 3 release with Andy Serkis doing voice and a red-headed protagonist with a sword, Heavenly Sword?
Sounds right.
Them guys as well. Like,
I think it was, yeah.
Them guys just know how to do that shit.
Yeah.
So I think my excitement of that influenced my decision to go, like, I remember playing Devil May Cry 4 because I was a little bit emo at the time because it was,
of course,
it was 9 years ago.
Fringes like this.
Yeah, totally. And to go back to it, yeah, I've not been able to go back to it since. It's a very complicated system, and who knows? One day maybe. But everything else on there, I mean, like, also, I was thinking about this year of shame. You must be able to rely very heavily in a day where you don't want to spend money on subscription services. So, like, Devil May Cry 5, I think, if you have the Microsoft all singing, all dancing service, you can play now for free.
We, in our rule set, is the only subscriptions we're allowed is Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus, so we can play online. We're allowed to download the games if we want, but we don't play until next year.
Is that because you're getting them at a good price, or you want to get the pre-order and...
No. We can... So, with our PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live games, they would be in addition to our pile of shame that we already have.
So even though you're downloading them through the month, you're not playing it. So you've not even played Apex, even though Apex is a free game.
What's Apex?
No, I've not played it. Apex Legends, Fortnite for grown-ups.
Do you know what? You two are OG. But I like the fact that you're not missing out on it, because I'm going to fucking download it because I need to make sure I get that license.
I've never.
You know what I mean?
Just going back to like Devil May Cry, the only version of that I've ever played is the first one.
I played 1, 2, and 3.
And to be fair, I really enjoyed that, but I had a bit of a difficulty getting to, because this is probably gonna, Matt will correct me because he's like the guru on it, but you had two kind of paths to follow in terms of combat. So one involved a big fuck off fist, and the other involved much more sword type
and the scythe
and fighting. Maybe I just couldn't get into it, but maybe I should go back and.
What were the guns called? Was it ebony and ivory?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of pretty funky lore
until you traded them out.
Because
for machine guns.
That's my only reference point for Devil May Cry games. Go
and play the reboot.
It was on.
Go and play the reboot.
Does that
play the reboot, Rich?
Does that involve the same mechanics as the first one? No,
fucking ignore. Dude, that was 10 years ago. Even if it was, it'd be a million times. It'd be 10 years better.
The reboot. When Year of Shame is over, you'll be able to pick it up for like £5 on the online store. Get DMC Ultimate Edition.
Yeah,
and
that's
just
what I got.
Fucking cream your pants.
And honestly, mate, it's like, do you remember how cool the intro to Blade was?
Yes.
It's that cool.
In a game.
But it's got a retro thing to it. It's very kind of like gritty and, no one's in noir, but it had a bit more just normality to it. It really helps sell the
monsters made sense.
They were like mannequin monsters.
Like the one that was all about the one that was all about media. It was very American Gods.
Oh, I've never watched that, but I imagine that idea of advertising, just brainwashing. It played into modern day stuff with that gothic, but Ninja Theory who did that and got combat spot on as far as I'm concerned.
Right,
spot on. I felt incredible doing it on easy levels. And then go into the challenge rooms and you could just see that what is possible, the depth of it. Oh.
Yeah,
right.
It was a beauty of a game.
I remember really enjoying the original Devil May Cry.
Then you will literally
I think it was
just
PS3, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You will get a full-on bonk on at DMC.
Right. Okay. I'm not going to do it this year, obviously for the year.
No, obviously.
Shame, but that's going to be in the 2020 list.
Oh, question. Does this mean that you can't buy games that aren't just out now? You can't even go and buy an old game?
No, you can't.
Oh, Golly gosh.
This
OG.
year,
Hardcore.
this year we went fucking hard.
Wow.
Because last year was literally shit.
So did you mean like you must see so many of those adverts that come up on Steam now? I've got like Steam on the PC.
Yeah, no, I get emails all the time. An item in your Steam list has come on sale.
Yeah.
Could you still buy an old game because it's on the cheap?
No.
And then wait. Oh.
No, sir.
And has anything really sort of like passed you by? You just thought, for fuck's sake, man, it probably will be on cheap again in the future.
No, I mean, to be honest, I've been very blinkered. So I've been concentrating solely on the stuff that is in the cupboard of dreams, or is on my hard drive. I've had to. It's me tapping on my table.
Don't do that.
So I've had to create a separate folder on my PS4 for all the games that I'm downloading on PS Plus this year, so I don't touch them. Same on the Xbox. And yeah, I'm just ploughing through. Which I guess brings us quite nicely to pile progress.
Oh, I'm going to leave a spreadsheet now, aren't
I? Hey! I don't need my spreadsheet this month.
Mine's not massive, but I've got a shit memory.
Well, I've only been playing Spider-Man. Pretty much exclusively since we last recorded. I have 100%ed the original game.
Did you say that you're like delaying the end of this because you're enjoying it that much?
Not delaying it, but I'm just squeezing every drop of joy out of it. So every possible thing I'm doing.
And this was the last year game, wasn't it?
Yeah. By Insomniac.
So you had it?
Yeah. And I had all the DLCs as well.
Oh, wicked.
And so I've done the base game, and I've done all of the collectibles and all of the extra missions and all of the challenges and everything else. Now I'm doing the first DLC, and again, doing all of the challenges, all of the missions, everything else, making sure you get the trophies for high-fiving New Yorkers, all of that stuff, because I'm just really enjoying it. Like I said in the podcast that none of you will ever hear because Steve's computer died, but I made a point of how I actually think it's almost a seminal game for this generation of games. I think that Spider-Man game is fucking beautiful in terms of superhero games. I think that it's taken what the Arkham games did and then giving you the ability to swing around New York City, which is just fucking beautiful at the best of times, and to be able to run up Avengers Tower is fucking awesome. So yeah, I've only been playing that. Outside of mobile games on the toilet, but if I still had my Vita, I'd probably be playing Spider-Man on the toilet. But no dice. So yeah, my pile progress this month or this last few months is very, very small, but very, very, very enjoyable.
That Spider-Man's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I don't know.
I got into the point of seeing if I could go for the platinum.
Yeah, but it's just getting the gold on all those challenges.
That was doing my head in. What was also doing my head in is that I am, instead of investing in the suits, I think I invested in
tech,
upgrading tech I wasn't actually using, and I'm like, oh shit, I've got to grind.
Yeah.
That was the point. I was like, right, I'm going to see. I'm going to get a selfie with Uncle Ben's.
Gravestone,
yeah, gravestone, and that's it. I'm turning it off.
Yeah, no, it's it very much is. It's if you want to get the platinum, you have to go back and do the fights that you've already done over and over and over again. As I've mentioned on the podcast before, I'm not a platinum chaser. I have one platinum, and that's Game of Thrones by Telltale, which you get platinum for just playing through it. Yeah. So that's literally it. So yeah, Rich, tell me about your piles.
Yeah, let's swing it over. Okay, so since we last did this, only moved on RDR2 a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's going to end up being one of those that I just dip into and do a little bit and do a little bit. I love Wild West history, so I don't want to play it and just not have it there, if that makes sense.
I mean, Rich, I've been at your house. I've sat in the same place you're sat right now, and I've seen how much you're into that.
Oh yeah,
world.
he usually gets it off the shelves at this point of the show. Gets some guns down. See, he's off now. He gets some guns. He just points them out as he puts on a hat.
Does he get overexcited?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Oh God Almighty!
Something's happened. Here we go. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, that's a new one. He hasn't usually got that one out. He usually gets the rifle out.
No, this is that's a Colt revolver.
That's the Joker gun.
Right.
Yeah.
Toby, do you remember
exactly.
we were talking about gnome engineers earlier?
Yeah.
He's very much playing up to the stereotype.
No, he's a night elf mohawk.
Fuck you. No, but I only play little bits at a time. And
Yeah.
I don't know whether this is right, but I do feel in that game they're sort of nudging you towards finishing it, because maintaining the camp seems to be a little bit more difficult every time you go back to it.
Yeah.
It costs a little bit more, it does it. And
Yeah.
so whilst they're not going, fucking do this adventure and finish this bit, they're subtly saying, stop hanging around and enjoying yourself, finish the story, mate.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't actually played it since I picked up Spider-Man, so I'm a long way behind you now. We were kind of at the same place.
Yeah. Well, to be fair to us, we're probably still at the same point.
Yeah.
I'm about 50%, perhaps slightly more through the overall progress.
So what chapter does that get you at?
Back end of chapter 3, I think.
All right.
I can't even remember where I'm at now.
I have played and completed, since we last recorded, Rogue Trooper Redux.
Whee! You've reduxed yourself.
Yeah, that was... Oh, it is a throwback to some of the old games, but my God, you could tell the cover and shooting mechanisms that are in there. They are definitely old school.
Well,
And,
like Mass Effect 1 old school. Like, just stand behind something and hope.
well, you sort of... For those who don't know the game, what you can do is you can throw combat mines down. And there's also an option in the same way that Assassin's Creed allows you to whistle and lure enemies through.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of the game by just laying those mines and whistling the enemies to follow through and blow themselves up. It's done. It was something I picked up for about £6 in the sale. So, and I like the 2000 AD comics. So there was all that going on. So that's finished. I binned off Des Ex Mankind Divided because I just hated the mechanics that were in there. Sometimes you play a game and, alright, maybe the story's a bit dull and that kind of thing, but it plays okay, so you're prepared to put up with it.
Yeah.
For me, it's the other way around. If I can't get my head round what my character's doing and how I'm controlling him, I can't cope with the game. I don't want to have to fight against the control system.
Yeah.
So I've just binned that off. To me, it wasn't intuitive enough. No matter how good the game, I might go back to it later on, but in terms of the Year of Shame, it's off the list for me. So that's gone.
Do you know what, Rich? That's up there with me with things like Metro. I get the gameplay loop, I just don't think I'm really going to enjoy it that much.
Yeah, you can't enjoy yourself when you have to think about how you're going to get a character to do something that should be intuitive. It sucks the enjoyment out of it for me. The Evil Within, that's probably the big one since we last recorded. Sorry, The Evil Within 2.
No. Oh yeah. Since people last heard us, you spoke about it in the last recording.
Yeah, so...
but it will never hear the light of day.
Since that, I have played through from start to finish and completed The Evil Within 2.
Nice.
So Sebastian is free of that bollocks.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, anyone who's played it will know.
I've not played it, Rich.
Don't trouble yourself with the joys of that then.
I'll be brutally honest, wasn't gonna.
Yeah, we've spoken a few times how I enjoy my sort of horror cum survival games.
Hang on, you enjoy cum survival games?
Horror cum survival games.
Oh, not cum survival games.
No, that's Matt's department.
Ooh,
I've
got a guest, Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a guest with a reputation.
At least wait till he brings it up.
Is that not part of the whole problem? Anyway, so that is completely played through, started, finished, and done. That's off the list. I've got rid of Van Helsing 2 from my list because it glitched and was being a cock. So that's gone.
Everyone could just get rid of that, couldn't they, really? It's just...
It was a Diablo-ish type game. I quite enjoyed it.
It's like it's a shit version of Victor Vran, which is a shit version of Diablo.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Anyway, it's gone. Never to be played again. I have started playing the Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments game, which is on my list.
Tell me about that. Tell me about the gameplay of that.
So it's third person, so you're controlling Sherlock Holmes through these things, and you go to a crime scene, and you've just got to look around the stuff, and the thing that sounds like, okay, you just like one of these hidden item games.
Yeah.
But then within his casebook, you have a list of everything you've found, and you can try and make connections between them.
Okay.
And then when you make the connections, that creates something else that you have to investigate and look at.
Okay.
So it's not necessary. You have to use a bit of your intelligence
to
try. Well, yes, only a bit. We're not talking massive stuff. To give you an example, at one point, you find out that there's a gardener who's been in the Navy, and it looks like the guy's been killed with a harpoon. So you piece these two things together, and Sherlock goes off, and you go through a sequence where he tries to pierce a corpse. Well, a corpse, I say, it's a pig corpse, with a harpoon in order to establish whether or not. But you can't unlock that section unless you have the common sense to realise that the gardener might have been involved in throwing the harpoon at the victim.
Yeah.
So there is a certain amount of deduction involved. It's not brilliant, I'll give you that, but it's okay. I don't mind it. I've played. I'm virtually at the end of the. I think there's 4 cases you have to solve.
Cool.
And I'm at the end of towards the end of the first one. Cool. I'm quite enjoying it. It's quite gentle, and given that you can play it when you're pissed. Well, hey.
Well, you can play Guitar Hero when you're pissed, and.
Yeah, but I've done that and fell over and hurt myself.
That'll happen.
There's only a few games out there that can be helped with alcohol. In the same way that sometimes I'm better at pool and bowling after a couple of drinks when I'm losing.
Whoa. There's no game that can't be improved with alcohol.
Your go-tos have got to be anything Guitar Hero rock-based, or Rock Band based, or DDR. You can't do DDR without a couple of drinks.
I've had many an hour trying to play Guitar Hero live after considerable alcohol consumption and shouting, going, I hit that fucking note. And then probably falling over and not remembering what the fuck went on.
It's my crowning glory amongst all of my closest mates that somehow, when absolutely shit-faced, I managed to do Dragon Force Fire in the Flames.
Fuck off!
On Guitar Hero.
No, stop! Fuck off!
And no one knows how.
No, because it's not true.
It's true.
No, it's not.
I could never... What are you claiming to have done? Played it on Guitar on Expert?
Not on Expert. Fuck off.
On what then?
I think I only did it on Medium, but I still got through it.
Fuck off. I could do that. I'm asleep.
I couldn't do it in my sleep. It's fucking terrible.
I refuse to accept that you've done Dragon Force drunk on any level.
I will get a signed affidavit.
You can get a signed whatever you like. I'm not accepting it.
Get a signed fucking cheesecake for all I care.
No.
No, I refuse.
No.
Right, gentlemen, I'm going to go and get another beer quickly.
I haven't finished yet.
Oh, fuck's sake. Go on then.
Go on then, Rich.
I've played a bit of XCOM 2.
Oh! I don't know if this is like an old joke or something, but I could talk to you about XCOM 2 all night.
just really
Tell you what, Rich,
funny
how
the way
about me
you
and you
said it.
settle down and talk XCOM?
You
Right,
two
Toby,
you two
fuck off,
carry
we'll
on
talk about this.
while I get a beer.
You
Yeah.
go.
I'll be
I'll
back.
just,
I'll be
I'll
back
just
at the end to
I'll
go.
just message the missus for a wine.
All right, XCOM 2, Rich.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Why not? What we,
I struggled with the tutorial length. I struggled with a moving base, and I didn't give it enough time. And I was also playing it on a controller, which isn't the best. Do you know what? Maybe I should pick up XCOM 2 on the PC and see if I can get into it.
what you've got to do is like in all those just give me the bottle. Yeah, thanks. Sorry.
Say hello for Matthew. Say hello for Matthew.
Wave. Say hello, Matt.
Hello, Matt.
Hello, I've come to your house. I know you.
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
like a straw?
Not a straw, thanks. No, that's good. There you go. Yes, that was the same person who. Right. So what I did with the first few missions was kind of consolidate and make sure that the first few recruits I got were capable. Because if you know, they've. What the fuck was that?
My
Posh
beer
beer.
cork for my posh beer.
They're okay, but until they become specialists, they don't start to flourish.
I think I must have just got myself in. I don't think I just got myself on the right headspace with the right difficulty level. I don't know.
What I do is I cheat and I save it every couple of turns, and then if I make a horrendous clusterfuck of the next few turns, I reload it because the enemies.
Pretty sure that's cheating.
It's technically cheating. I call it tactical awareness. The enemies will do the same thing, and snipers with squad sight are worth their weight in gold.
Oh, is that the ones where they can see what someone else can see?
Yeah, basically they can take out.
Yeah,
anything.
that's it. That's your end game right there. You get 2 snipers like that.
Yeah, exactly. Every squad you deploy, when you've got to get the ability to deploy 6 people as a squad.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, as soon as you can.
Every squad, 2 squipers, snipers with squad sight straight away, and aside from that, so you can get the spotting in. A ranger with phantom, so he doesn't get detected at the same time as anyone else. So they
Toby, are you paying attention to this? There'll be a test in a minute.
Yeah, squad sight, sniper, bollocks.
Yeah, he's passed. So the phantom thing, so that when the rest of the squad shoots, they don't become targeted. So they can keep eyes to allow the squad sight to go. Then the rest of the 3 people in the squad can be whatever you like. 2 snipers with squad sight, 1 ranger with super stealth skills. That's how I play it.
You heard it here first.
It might be bollocks, but it works for me.
Oh, hello.
Oh, posh beer. Posh beer's on the go.
Fucking hell.
Can
That's
you
good.
can you pronounce the name of it?
Yes. It is 3 Fontaine.
It's got a 3 on it, fuck that.
Got a fucking big 3 on it. It's Belgian beer. And it is a Cuvée, Armand and Gaston sour beer. And it is fucking delicious.
What does that mean in English?
It essentially just means it's quite a funky, quite a tart tasting Belgian beer. So it's, imagine something like Duvel or Chouf.
If I imagine those, what do I need to imagine those?
Have you drank any Belgian beer?
Yeah.
What have you had?
Do I have to give you a name?
Yeah, it'd be really useful in trying to help you explain what this beer's like.
No, it's from Belgium.
Okay, good. I mean, no.
So, Toby, how does that beer compare to an entire country's worth of beer? Better or worse?
Better.
Better, Rich. It's
I'll
better.
I'll try.
It's
I'll
beautiful.
try one.
Look at the colour of that. It's beautiful.
Okay, off you.
Oh,
I'm shit at beer.
I'm shit at beer. I've completed it. Completed beer. I've got like 900
Platinum. Is that your one
912 followers on my beer Instagram now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, what you got?
What you got? What you got?
Look at the Toby there polishing his massive hard on.
Just stroking the helm.
Well, Richard takes fire. So Toby, what's the next section in your show?
The next section, Matthew, you'll be pleased to know, is community questions, as presented by Burpee McGee. Wow.
Right, come on, Dickie.
Right, professionalism.
Shit.
I've got faith in you.
Keynote professionalism. Dave Packer, have you guys played any of the PS Plus offerings this year? If so, which have been your favourites? Toby?
No, because that would be against the Year of Shame rules. As we discussed earlier, they're all in a separate folder on my PS4. And no is the answer, Dave Packer.
I mean, there's been a few, hasn't there? There was Detroit Become Human. That's a big old game to have in your back catalogue.
That's a good game as well, by all accounts.
Yeah, and me and the wife always play those together. Yeah, we're having to wait on that one. So we played Beyond Two Souls and all the other ones, Heavy Rain and all that business, and we're just waiting on this one.
I've got too much to play already to be bothered with the downloads, to be fair.
Okay.
I'm not even sure what they were.
Yeah.
Matthew.
Matthew!
Answer the fucking question, boy!
Alright, well, I've not played that many of them. One thing I'm not very good at doing is maintaining a good subscription. I sort of pay monthly and I forget about it. And then I boot at the PlayStation, it says, another £6.99, Matthew. I say, yes, of course, Sony. I want to sort of sensible my life up a little bit and make sure that I'm not doing that.
If anyone has any sort of idea about what's going on, listen to the current podcast from Matt and Darren. Matthew's ability to subscribe monthly rather than yearly does have a certain amount of traction in that podcast.
Even like, why am I paying monthly for a 5-user subscription to Microsoft Office 365? Because that was what was presented to me. I went, all right, because all of a sudden I need to use Excel, so come on, help a brother out.
Yeah, I just piggyback off my wife's. My wife's work one has like 5 licenses on it, so I'm like, yeah, I'll have one of them.
Do you remember working in offices? And as a corporate, do you remember that back in the day, working in offices
when there were places we went to work where we did stuff and they paid us for it. Do you remember them? Those were the days. Do you remember photocopiers?
Fax machines.
And do you remember laminators? Oh, them were the days.
I don't know what I was going to talk about. So you 100% thrown me, Toby.
I derailed you there. I'm good at that. If you listen to this podcast, you'll notice I derail at least one chain of thought every podcast.
All right.
Right, do you want me to read the second question?
Yes, please.
Okay. Stuart Neal. What game have you sunk a fair amount of time into, but it still refuses to be beaten?
Yakuza 0. That game just goes on for fucking ever. You fight the same people every couple of minutes. Same boss every couple of hours.
Mine's got to be XCOM 2, because how many more missions do I need to do to save the world? Some of us have got other things to do. And right now, you guys are pretty much dragging all the time I've got into this whole world domination / saviour episode.
Yeah,
well,
sure. Matthew?
Yeah, well, for me, probably FTL. I complete it a couple of times a week, and I try some of the different cruisers. I'm trying to get used to the one that you don't start with shields, so it's all about evasion and cloaking. But it's one of those games that, although I've completed it a bunch of times, if I keep completing it in different methods, it will keep giving me new methods to continue enjoying that experience.
Yeah, is that a free-to-play one?
No, it's a couple of quid. Faster than light. It's fucking outstanding.
Footle.
I've got it on my Steam library, but can you play it on mobile?
Possibly. Might be a different purchase. No idea.
All right, okay.
It begs to be played mobile. They should, if they haven't already, sort that out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's all about diverting power into different parts of your ship based on what's going down. So yeah, you're all about that, Reg.
It needs thinking, doesn't it?
It does. Thank you, Stuart, for your question.
Right,
yeah,
last
thanks.
one. Tuds, shut up.
What?
I've got a question to read.
Oh, sorry, mate.
So, Derek, do you have a white whale game on your list? One that you promised to complete or start, but never gets that touched?
Yeah, I do. Would you like to hear about it?
Yeah, I think I would.
Okay, mine is Fallout 4. Which at the beginning of this year I was like, yeah, I'm going to really enjoy sinking a lot of time into that, exploring the world and getting involved and doing all the stuff, and it's not been in my console at all in 2019. And every time I'm getting close to finishing a game, I'm like, yeah, maybe I should start Fallout 4 because that's a big undertaking. And then I go, it's a big undertaking, maybe I'll just leave it. I don't need any more Nuka-Cola in my life right now.
Something else gets
giant fucking mosquitoes when you've only got a spanner in your hand. Like, just that can fuck off. But no, it's a game that I do really want to play, but that is my Moby Dick.
Have you got anything like that, Matt?
Do you remember when I said about working in an office? It came back to me.
Yeah, I remember. Them photocopiers.
What used to be awesome
Those
would be...
fucking things.
What would be great would be when you work close enough to the IT guys who get the deliveries of the actual PCs. Because they've all got a big corporate license to Windows 95 and Windows 98 or Windows XP.
There's a laser turner.
You might as well have just said NT then and be fucking done with it.
so all those machines that come in with those codes, you just write them down because they don't get registered. And they're the ones that you always keep in your back pocket for you buy a new PC.
I did laugh at that.
I mean, that sounds like theft to me. And we don't condone
well,
that. We don't condone that on the YoS podcast. But yeah, no, yeah.
But in other words, though, to Digi's question, what counts as like a whale? Is it something that...
A white whale, so it's like Moby Dick is the thing that you never managed to catch.
Something that you you promise yourself you're going to start, or you promise yourself you're going to finish, but you never get quite that far.
I don't know. Thankfully, I don't think I have one. I've always caught my fuckers.
Oh, it's catch my way, Will. Call me Mr. fucking Ahab.
I think I always promise. I think I always promise myself I'll finish RDR2, but that's not going to happen anytime soon.
It'll happen one day, mate.
You mentioned yourself with that.
I want to start Assassin's Creed Syndicate because I like the whole Victorian London thing.
Yeah, that's you. That's very you.
But I've got so many. Well, this podcast and the whole year of share, I've got so many other things going on that maybe I should say to myself, right, that's the next thing I'm going to start. But yeah, the whole Victorian London thing is it's right in my wheelhouse. So yeah, that's my answer.
Lovely. Well, that's all of our community questions. Unless, I'm going to throw this out there, we want to re-answer the ones that we answered on the last episode that no one ever got to hear us answer.
Ooh, I don't know what they are.
I haven't got those listed. You'll have to.
I'll have to look on Facebook and scroll. Sure. I mean, it's not taxing for me. Just call me Mr. Scrolly.
Oh man,
I'll just call you Mr. Nobby.
Well, I'll tell you one of the games that I think I will go back to from this year that I haven't touched yet.
Yeah.
And when you think about how people enjoy it and you sort of enjoy it on their behalf, I think Days Gone will be something that's worth going back to when I've got a bit of time.
Yeah.
By all accounts, people had a lot of fun with that game.
I think if I can, in 2020, I might well drop on that and see what everyone's been going on about,
so,
good or bad.
I've got some questions here.
Oh, he's back.
Matthew Moore asked one of them.
Hey!
So, the first one, Joe Middleton. Thoughts on Google Stadia? Are streaming services going to signal the end of a pile of shame and the end of the challenge?
Google Stadia.
No, Stadia. We've done this already. It's Stadia. I know no one ever got to hear it, but you got thoroughly beaten in that conversation.
I just thought I'd relive it.
So, you know what? I want that. That is the future that I want.
Yeah.
I want a telly mounted elegantly
on demand. Yeah.
And never have to worry about cables.
Don't know why I said that like a farmer. On demand.
On demand. And as we know, I don't mind paying a subscription for things, and I'm one of those people who are, I guess, people don't chase me for money when it comes to like dropping on DLC on a mobile title. That's not me. What I am is I'm the guy who will sign up for a service and probably forget about it, or just assume it's now a part of their monthly payment.
Yeah.
So I'm perfect fodder for them from a finance point of view, and that's where you make money. But I'm absolutely there. I've always been digital over physical for the past sort of 8 years.
So Matt, will you revise your attitude to subscriptions in as much as you'll pay monthly, as opposed to fuck that dude's renewing, I'll pay for a month at a time? Or are you gonna just take it as and how it as it comes?
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I don't know what the model looks like. Last time I looked at it, it was you pay more based on the fidelity that you want. I'm like, well, I guess if we're in a world where economy equals bandwidth, then that's what your subscription looks like. But it's not going to replace my physical media in the next
generation,
5 or 6 years. No, whatever the next console is, I will get it, and it will live there. And over that time, your current companies like your Googles and your Apples of the world will continue. Your Samsungs and your TV providers. Once again, I want it all built into my TV.
Yeah,
I want it there, ready to go.
Well,
I want nothing.
This is it, and this is what I said last time we recorded, is that everything in my house is Google. So I've got Google Home, I've got Chromecast on every TV, I have a Pixel phone, like Stadia is made for me. It's made for my home, in that I can just take that controller to any room in my house and game.
That's pretty cool, man.
It's lovely.
That's the dream right there.
That's the future. That's what the future is. I'll be buying PS5. I'll be buying the new Xbox. But I do want Stadia to form part of that lineup, at least in the first instance, to see how it's going and to give it a go.
Yeah.
I don't think
you're a great test subject.
Yeah, I'm the one. I don't.
The Matrix 4's about this right now.
The Matrix 4's about Toby James getting Google Stadia. I don't think, at least in the short to medium term, it will replace the monopoly that Sony and Microsoft have on the console market. I also don't think that it will appeal to everyone. And as a result, I think that physical media will always have a place. Further than that is that I think that Sony and Microsoft are both gearing up to offer the same model within their console worlds, which puts everything in a nice, neat box for people. And so you're going to then have the people like Matthew, who want it all just connected to, built into their TV, ready to rock and roll. The flip side of that is the people that want it all built into their console, so they can pick that up and take it places, like to a mate's house, somewhere else. I know most of us don't move our consoles nowadays, but do you remember the times when you used to take your Mega Drive around to your mate's house? Yeah. You know?
Long old fucking SCART cables.
Long old SCART cables, but not only that, fucking Microsoft with the 2 extra plug ports on the cartridge. What did I just say? I meant Micro Machines. I think I said Microsoft, which is weird. But I meant Micro Machines with the 2 extra controller slots on the cartridge.
Even the Atari Jaguar had a 4-player splitter output.
Yeah.
And it was for White Men Can't Jump.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You and your fucking Jaguar.
Someone has to have bought one.
I had one.
Okay, so I didn't.
Yeah, Rich,
I mean, I had it for like 10 minutes, but I had one.
You're like, oh, I know, I didn't want a 3DO, so why do I want this?
I had a Philips CD32 as well.
And the thing off the back of that sort of cloud-based system is that sooner or later, Microsoft and Sony are going to have to agree to crossplay.
Yeah. I think we're seeing. I'm feeling good vibes from this whole thing, even though I don't indulge in it. I like understanding that Nintendo guys play with Microsoft guys on Fortnite, not Fortnite, sorry, Minecraft at least, and I like that shift. And everything I've heard from the console owners who are aware that the idea that you don't need it, I think they're still banging the drum that without saying it's great, but the infrastructure is just not going to be there to support what we need. Look, we're sat here right now on a bank holiday Sunday evening at just gone 10:20 at night. We're the kind of guys who will quite happily spend an extra £100 because we want it. And it's our thing. It's our thing.
Yes,
we want the shiny one.
I budget for this bullshit. Come on.
Yes, quite. So, Rich, do you have a definitive answer on this subject?
No.
Do you have an opinion?
What I would like to see is people being able is a whole crossplay thing.
Okay.
The problem you have is that if you start doing a crossplay thing, what differentiates between one manufacturer and another?
I know sometimes is it brand recognition? Is it like
Sometimes
I always have a Sony?
Yeah,
I'm a PS guy.
And that's it right there. So if I can play my games against somebody who's on an Xbox and somebody on a PlayStation, somebody on a Nintendo, what forces me to buy a particular console?
Well, you're still going to have exclusives, aren't you? And I guess that is still
and
the thing.
Yeah, and that's the nail on the head there, right? Somebody's going to have, a company is going to have to nail it to the flagpole and say, what I'm going to do is produce console, or, well, not even console, but exclusives for that particular company.
Rich, they're doing it now. EA have got it. Ubisoft have got one, haven't they, as well?
Yeah.
Ubisoft. I mean, who's that fucking keen? They want to play the latest Assassin's Creed and Far Cry and Steep 2. That you're going to spend £15 a month for everything French Canadian. I love the guys. I love the guys at E3. I love everything that they do. I as soon as I saw that as an option, as a purchasing thing, I just thought I don't know, if it felt like saturation at this point.
But how does that then work, Rocket? So if you have that particular brand associated with that particular game, but you then, because the thing is going forward is online multiplayer. If you're restricting your particular brand to a certain console and the way it operates, but you've got players who think, you know what, I'm on Xbox, but I'd love to play Assassin's Creed. How do you manage the exclusivity of that to PlayStation?
I don't know. I think there's people who get paid a lot more than you and I to work these things out.
Exactly.
But, they're all fucking 50.
That's my point.
One thing that's interesting that we'll say is that Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto 5, they've got their own little fucking world there, haven't they? They're not begging for a subscription to a service. They're just
having fun with it.
Something,
they're just having fun with it.
I don't know when we... I'll tell you what, Rich, if you do me a favour, if you do keep on with RDR2 and you finally do get to a point where you end in maybe 18 months, do me a favour and just jump onto the online thing and let me know if it's thriving. Because I've just got a feeling
it's not GTA 5. It's not.
Is it? I mean, what is it about GTA? Is it just that everyone grew up with it and a lot of people? We all did.
I don't even think it's that. I think that the GTA.
If
5...
I take a stop, sorry, Tubbs. If I take a snapshot of it now, because I've played both.
Oh.
I've played RDR2 online and I've played GTA online. Certainly, at the moment, the whole thing is around the time people have been playing it. There are a lot of people who've grown up, if you like, in terms of video game ethos, playing GTA 5. And they played the game, they've jumped into the online, they've set up an apartment, they've got their character, they've built up stuff, they've done heists and that kind of thing, and they're embedded in that. In terms of the RDR2 world, that's new. They don't have the same infrastructure that they've been able to build in that. And to be fair, you can't build it. You can have a camp. You can have a camp, but you can't have an office.
No, you can't have that. UFOs flying over because that's not
exactly.
Whoa. There are UFOs in RDR2.
Matt, let's ignore Tuds. Let's carry on with this. But I don't think the RDR2 world is going to have the longevity that the GTA world does.
No.
They're trying, but
isn't the latest thing? Isn't the latest rumor that maybe Bully 2 might be the next thing to do?
Yeah, they won't do a GTA for a while.
And I didn't play Bully.
I've never played it.
And I know that it's one of theirs and it has reference, but if they're going to do something, I think something different would be. I mean, Red Dead was different, but now we need something different. Table tennis too.
Fuck's sake.
I've played both of those two games online, and if I had to, I'd go back to GTA rather than whatever they've done with RDR. See,
my problem with GTA 5, and we're trying not to mention his name in this podcast, so we'll just call him the Wankit. Which stems from our preview episode. Go back, folks, you'll understand the reference. I did the heists with the Wankit and his partner in crime, and one other person who's still part of the community and by all accounts is an alright chap. But that soured it for me. I didn't want to go back after that because the people that I had those memories with were massive dickholes. And I haven't been back since, really. You know, it's just ruined it.
One of the things I can't understand is how people maintain affinity with something that's... You're not telling me that they haven't managed to update for instance, the user interface and the bits and pieces. You know, they haven't added, as far as I know, more weapons and
they have
diverse vehicles and that kind of stuff.
They 100% have done all of those things.
Why GTA?
Yeah.
Oh, GTA is a fucking... It's bonkers.
It's a behemoth. Every week is a new event, a new set of vehicles, a new set of guns, a new set of clothes.
Yeah, man. You could spend a lot of money in that game.
A login bonus. If you've been logging in every week, every day for a week, you're like 500 grand and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, okay.
They've literally just grabbed hold of everything that everyone wants and continued to keep giving it to them. And they're giving it to them for free.
Right. So, fair play to Rockstar for doing that, but I've got a life, and the way I play the games is revolve around my knob.
I'm confused as to how we've got there.
Well, actually, most of my decisions in life revolve around my knob.
Well, exactly. So a lot of those people that are playing GTSA must... Their life focus is somewhere else.
Hey, it's no different than people playing WoW back in the days. I mean, it becomes a social space at some point.
But why is that not translated to RDR2?
Install base.
I don't know if you...
It's install base and history. That when the game launched, RDR2 online they had the word beta slapped all over it.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they will. It's Rockstar, for God's sake, and a lot of people bought that game. I'm sure they will support that as well. But the money that they're getting right now is all from GTA. It's on so many fucking platforms. I had it on the 360. I got a Cy Stevens just emailed me one day. Went, do you want a fucking code for the HD version on the PS4? Like, yeah. And I never played it, but I've got it because you never know. But I also know it's one of them games as well, where I know that if I can never just boot up and play it, because I know that the second I boot up, I'll say, right, let's download 2.5 deep Blu-rays worth of data, Matthew, because this is a big old game.
Yeah. Now, so neither of you will have been part of what was one of my favourite MLG community gaming nights, which was the Friday night GTA 5, which took place for a little while, where we all got onto the same server on GTA Online and stole a bus. And we were all on the bus, just firing out of the windows at anyone we could. And then Neil crashed it.
Part of that isn't a surprise.
It was...
Yeah, I think it's a good backdrop, because if you think about it, I when I scroll through Facebook, obviously Facebook, everything knows what I'm doing online.
Oh yeah, algorithms.
And it will surface things to me, and it'll be just like, we're just going to try and jump all these yachts on all the different cars in GTA.
Yeah.
And we'll see which one makes it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at things like that. These cars weren't there. What you can make your own. People are making their own ramps, and I don't know how it's. I don't know in game how it's done. I mean, are you using like a an eye in the sky, moving around, placing things?
That's more the PC version that's doing that, where they're using mods and stuff like that. So
are you having to sort of place individual pieces of road?
So, or they'll get like a flatbed lorry and just push it through the scenery. We're using a mod so that it just makes a ramp.
Wow, that's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I have no idea what the fuck you said.
That's okay. All right, Rich.
Let's move on.
I have a GTA Online character with like level 125 with his own apartment and stuff, but
yeah.
Let's do another question.
I can't be arsed.
Let's do another question.
Fuck. All right.
Because this went from Google Stadia to whatever the fuck we're talking about now.
I accidentally closed the page down. Hang on.
It's all right. I've got them, mate. I've got them here.
You just do the fucking question.
Okay.
Shit. Sorry. I've sworn a lot.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm gonna go.
You've never had to edit a podcast they'll be on before.
I'm going to
First thing it says here is support my Evil Dead 2 Quickstarter.
I'm gonna go to Kev Atkinson on the 31st of May, who felt that we were short of questions, so gave us a lot of them. And I'm going to cherry pick some of these, just because we've got a lot of questions that we can actually hit here. So I'm going to start. I'm going to start with number 1, and I'm actually going to whack it to Matthew this time, to our guest. Kev asked us, which video game character would you most like to sit back, chill, and have a beer with?
Ooh,
yeah.
I kind of realised that one of my latest go-tos, my most recent go-to is going to be Max Payne.
Yeah, you said that in the least podcast, didn't you?
Hence me saying the most recent thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna spoil your fucking day.
It's good to know we've got one listener.
Rich, who would you most like to chill out and have a beer with? Max Payne.
Max Payne. No, he's always a good guy. He doesn't give a shit. Come back to me. I'll think about it.
Okay. I think mine would probably be Grunt from Mass Effect 2. The Krogan. I reckon a Krogan drinking sesh would be fucking mental. And if there's one thing I enjoy in a drinking session, it's fucking mental. Matthew knows this. You've been through the eye of the looking glass with me, and it was not pretty.
Don't pull me down to your depths.
Don't pretend that you weren't in my depths, swimming along with me.
Don't worry, it's a familiar sense.
But I think that Grunt would be, and he just doesn't take any shit. So if you fancy getting into a fight with a few chavs afterwards, he'd sort that out as well.
Of course he would.
So yeah, I'm going to say Grunt this time. That wasn't my answer last time, but I can't remember what it was. Rich, have you thought of one yet?
No.
Okay, good. All right.
I like Max Payne. I think he had a quote in the most recent game. He said it was a crap idea, but I decided to go for it because no one had come up with a better one.
There, he did. That was a good line, man.
It's something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but basically,
close enough.
That's my life in a quote.
Was that Kev Atkinson's second question?
No, that was his first question.
Was the second question, what is your life in a quote?
No.
That's fine.
I'm not sure if we're going to use any more Kevs. I'm just having a look at them. Because basically I'm just making this up as I go along now. So, Adam Edwards, old Papa MLG, he asked us, how many controllers do you have and any other funky peripherals for gaming?
Oh.
And when we answered this originally, it took Steve about 20 minutes because that man has got some serious shit.
He had to go.
Has he really?
Yeah.
He had to find them.
He left and was digging around in his house and coming back with all sorts. So, Rich.
What?
You can answer this one.
Yeah, I've got a mouse. I've got a keyboard. I've got a controller for the Xbox. I've got a controller for the PS4.
Okay.
What would it need?
Done. 4.
Yeah.
Matthew.
Is he asking about what we've got now and what we've had?
let's go for what you've had. Let's
Oh,
go.
does a guitar controller count?
No, I've got several of those, but I had some that I plugged into a PlayStation 2 to play one of the Need for Speed Underground games, and it was an exercise bike.
Okay.
That plugged into a PlayStation 2.
Okay.
So
Right into the controller.
You were driving a car based on how fast you could cycle.
So on the handles where your hands were D-pads and your face buttons, and there were triggers where your hands would be on that exercise bike.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the arms were.
It was
moving,
static.
It was all steady. Yeah, and I believe that by default, one revolution of the wheel meant X amount of time of X being held down.
Interesting. That you've used X amount of time of X.
This is like a
You've
maths
mixed
exam.
algebra and straightforward language at the same
It's
time.
a fucking maths exam.
Yeah, it's almost like we met. And that was like the stupidest thing I ever bought. I think when it comes for peripherals and controllers.
Tuds, let's mute him.
What? It's a fucking audacity.
Look at his face.
Okay. I'm going to ask this. How many of the people in this conversation own the Super Scope?
I haven't got one.
No, not now.
No.
Ever.
Ever. I don't have one ever.
No, never owned a Nintendo product.
Never owned a Nintendo product.
I don't think so, actually.
Wow. So you never had a NES or a SNES?
Nope.
I've got a Wii.
I think you need a
he's
Wii.
And I own one.
Good. I'm glad of this fact. All right. What about a CD32X?
What's that?
What's a CD32X? He says.
So that was that time where you can go into a Curry's and there'd be that, and then so the Sega CD was obviously something else.
And Mega CD32X. It's the Mega Drive one.
Oh gosh. Was it still cartridge or was it CD?
So no, CD. Mega CD was the first one, and then CD32X was the next one.
Okay. Did they both have Sewer Shark?
I can't remember. I'm going to check that now because I feel like I've added extra letters that weren't supposed to be there.
No, there was. I think the 32X plugged in. I think it plugged into the cartridge slot, but it had either a CD unit or just an extra chunky. It must have been because do you remember seeing the Atari Jaguar with CD clip on? It looked like a Portaloo.
Yeah, it sure did. It sure did.
So I played. God, what did I play on there? I played games on there.
Anything? Anything? You played anything?
Fucking hell.
It's a war of attrition, these shows sometimes, aren't they?
Cy Stevens has asked us, what is my Grindr password? His Grindr password.
Oh, his?
Yeah.
Or yours?
I haven't got one.
You sure?
Yeah. I checked.
Oh. Simon Stevens 01.
Password with 2 5s for the S's. Let's have a look. Next question. All right. I'm going to pick one more, and then we're going to close out.
Are you sure?
The show. And it's not going to be any of Kath's. I'm sorry, Kath. I love your questions, but they're not relevant.
Not this many years after.
No, one of them is what will happen to Star Trek Discovery now it's in the future, and the other one is, are gender stereotypes okay? Like neither of them.
In order, yes, no, he'll die, and no.
What?
No, or probably. I wasn't sure of the question.
The question doesn't exist yet. I have not given you the question.
Awesome.
Come on.
All right, mate. So, Matthew Moore said, "Is this thing working, and will we ever get a streamed show?"
Oh yeah.
No.
Do you know what, Richard?
No,
Richard.
fuck off.
Before you answer, I know the answer to that now. Because there's very brave people out there who, instead of doing what we're doing now and what me and Darren do, which is recording locally and offline, putting it together and sending it out. There are some people out there, and the guys I always, every single year when I see them at MLGX, the guys from the Veteran Gamers, they've been doing that for years. Absolutely. And I sometimes think to myself, it's the perfect future, because you click record and it goes out and you've got live content coming in of stuff, but every other...
Matt.
You know what? Every other show, either me or Darren will say something that bad that I'm very glad that I've got the opportunity to go and take that out, because every now and again, me and Darren do fall into, it's just me and Darren having a little bit of a chat sometimes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think that's obvious, because occasionally I like to mention Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris. So
no, you've never mentioned any of those things in this podcast.
Something like that could happen if you were going live.
Very true.
1, 2, 3. For me, I would do it. I would enjoy it. I would make sure that...
things are you're treading the boards, aren't you?
Yeah, all the time, man. All the time. I'm
Jesus Christ Superstar is coming
Jesus
up.
Christ Superstar is coming up.
Who are you playing?
I'm playing Simon Zealotes.
That's not Jesus.
No, it's not Jesus, because I think he's a whiny prick.
Is he a knob?
I auditioned for Judas.
Of course you did.
Well,
did you say you were too good? You were too convincing.
Too aggressive is what they said. Too aggressive.
No, you seem to enjoy it too much.
I did enjoy it a lot. So no, Simon. Oh Jesus! It's Christ Superstar. So yeah, that's in October. So yeah, we'll get everyone to come straight down from Birmingham to watch my show. Yeah, but no, I think I would quite enjoy a live show. I would want a lot of guests, because I think a live show has the opportunity to dry the fuck up very quickly. Whereas,
would you have me on a live show?
Right now,
you'd be the anchor point.
Right now, yes, in a heartbeat.
Hooray!
So, we've done our community questions, so let's just have a quick round table for any other business. Rich, anything else you want to discuss tonight on our return to podcasting?
Not I can think of right now. Maybe come back there and of the segment.
Okay. Matthew.
Oh god, it's like looking at a time capsule of some of the times I used to be that drunk. But you know what, Rich? You haven't got to edit it. Having to edit your own self drunk is so demoralising. I will do you a solid.
I don't know what you mean.
And I will make you sound outstanding.
Rich isn't drunk. All right, Matthew. Any other business?
I'm not pissed.
He's not pissed. See, he said it on record, so he's not.
No, I guess not. Other than thanking you guys for letting me come on, I'm more than happy to help you guys out. As mentioned before, what I did offer early doors, and it turns out that I was only needed when it turns out I'm second reserve essentially.
First reserve.
To be fair,
so I'm the best. I'm the best.
You're essentially
the best.
You're essentially Jay from In-Betweeners. So if you could get,
I'll have that.
If you could just start wanking with Ham, that'd be great. Good, Rich. You look like you've got something.
well, no, I just wanted to mention that Jay Stokes is a.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you wanted to throw that out there with our good friend Jace.
He beats me up. Oh.
Right, if we hold up a doll, will you show us where
he touched you?
Yes.
You can just stand up and show us where he touched you. I mean, that's all we can. I haven't got a doll, so just stand up and show us.
To be fair, Tobes, I ain't got a doll either.
No, I know. So the only thing we've got is for him to stand up and show us.
Yeah.
He's a prick.
Good. Okay. For me...
Tell you what, it's been a long time since I've had fun with an edit. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to put my editing skills to test.
For me...
Every single little breath I will try and mix into the previous breath. It'll be fucking seamless.
For me, I don't have any other business. So, we'll hit the domestics. So,
yay!
You can hit us on Twitter at Year of Shame. Please use the hashtag YoSHI and YoS2019. You can also find Steve, our silent...
It just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
You can also find Steve, our silent partner, at SteveOA76. You can find our very happy Night Elf Mohawk at Burton Coggles. And you can find me at Toby James _. And Matthew, where can they find you on social media?
They can find you on Twitter at MantisMatt.
Wonderful. You can also email us at yearofshame@gmail.com. Please mention YoS2019. And on Facebook, you can find us at the Year of Shame Challenge. So, it's been an evening. It's certainly been an evening.
No one can argue with
that.
No
one can argue with that.
Yes.
It's facts. Straight up facts. So, Richard, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye to the people.
Matthew, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you again next time. Cheers.
So you're one of those guys who does beer properly.
Well, I'm a beer blogger, my friend. Beer blogger. At Craftedly. 912 followers. Just 912. Say it again. Just say it again. Yeah. Living those dreams, scheming those schemes.
Yeah, you'll soon be getting you'll be getting the fat messages, the fat money in the offers.
I've had some.
Before you know it.
I've had some. But like they clearly just look at how many followers you've got and not what you actually blog about. Because I got one the other day, and they were like, "So, do you want to sell these women's clothes?" I was like, "No, this is a beer blog. I'm pretty sure no one here wants what you're selling."
Yeah, so you sell. You say sell. I say wear.
Yeah. I mean, it'd look great. Me in a nice little dress, drinking a beer.
Oh. So is this why you're not coming to MLGX? Because you're going to be treading the boards?
No. I don't even know when it is.
September.
So you're not coming because you hate us?
No. I'm not coming because life is mental. Not just treading the boards. The wife is also treading the boards. On top of that, money, it is tight. So
money's too tight to mention.
It is. It's tighter than too tight to mention. It's too tight to even think about. Never mind mention. And then when
let's not think about it. Then.
Whenever I hear that, I always think the next thought I always think is buffalo stance. For some reason, I go straight to Nana Cherry for money's too tight to mention. Always.
You're daft.
Just straight into Nana. No pun intended. Well, maybe one or two puns intended. But, you know.
I was 16 once.
What's he like? Like, how did someone put that into a record? What's he like? Fucking Buffalo stance.
I woke up now.
Hello, Rich.
Hello, mate. Where you been?
Oh, mate. We were just talking.
Just talking about Nana Cherry. What are your thoughts on Nana Cherry?
It's like...
Do you know what, Toby? I'm so glad you asked.
I feel like it was pertinent.
I often wondered.
What Rich's thoughts on Nana Cherry were.
Yeah. I weren't sure.
All right. Okay, Rich. Let's ask about some other 80s pop music luminaries.
Okay.
Such
go.
as Flock of Seagulls.
Mullets.
Okay, good. What
Say what you see.
What about the Bangles?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I feel they need some sort of management in their life.
Okay.
Is that because they're all women?
No, because they always have a manic Monday.
Right, I think right there, Richard just won the podcast.
All right. Let me go double or quits.
Okay, sweet. Yeah.
Bananarama.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How well do they know Robert De Niro?
Oh, that was good. I think you might have broken Matthew. All right. Let's see if you can do one without taking that long to think.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Human League.
Wow.
No,
Don't you want me?
You've just taken just as long to think because you made that noise. But I'm sure they do want you. And want you. Whoa.
Can they spin me right round?
That's not them.
I know it is.
Hey, check it out. I got a pair of Crocs this weekend.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Go away.
No, I kid you not. I said to the wife that I don't like wearing socks in the house, but there are many, many reasons with dogs and whatnot that I need to leave the house to take bins out, and there's stones out there, and I don't want to be putting shoes on without socks, so I need some kind of a sandal solution. So my thought was sandal. Now, I don't want a flip-flop. I don't want shit between my toes. That's not natural.
But fucking Crocs are. Fucking giant foam holy shoes.
Well, they're holy, so I still get the air to the toes. If they're not on show, that's a good thing, because they're not pretty.
We're
bad.
men. We're not supposed to have pretty toes.
But this is the game changer. I'm just living these.
There's no change. Hey.
If things change now, Richard, we're no longer friends. Is what you're breaking to me right now. Jesus, I'm joking. Don't worry, let's change the subject. So yeah, I've got some sandals
In the shape of Crocs.
While you're talking, I'm gonna get my user manual for the Punisher's van out.
Oh, okay.
Fuck, I can't be arsed. I can't be arsed.
I don't know what's happening now.
Yeah, because all of a sudden that's not going to help a podcast, which isn't a visual medium. How about we spend 6 hours, Rich? You can explain the entire technical. What was it? The technical manual for
all Marvel vehicles.
Yeah, for all Marvel vehicles.
That
the Blackbird, all that shit.
fucking Blackbird.
That's what the X-Men fly.
Yeah,
who
built the Blackbird, Matthew?
Magneto?
No. Rich?
Right.
Fuck knows.
No,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know how to maintain it.
Okay. But I know who built it personally.
Yeah.
Like we're good friends.
That's all right. You bring it to my garage and I'll fix it.
I'm not going to bring a stealth jet to a garage. It's not going to happen.
It's a bit too obvious, really, isn't it? Kind of intuitive to like the whole stealth bit.
Yeah.
But when your MOT's up and that's it, then you're fucked, aren't you?
Pretty sure stealth jets don't have MOTs either.
Hey, I'll tell you what. When he's having to go to WeBuyAnyStealthJet.com and then seeing what a terrible fucking deal he's
Where's
getting.
your service history?
Yeah,
I left it at
he'll
Rich's
be calling
garage.
our Uncle Richard, going like, "I can sort you out."
I can fudge one of them for you.
It's all right.
What we should look at with podcasting is making connections and saying, "Do you know what? You're crazy, and I might need you one day."
Yes.
I could be in everyone's.
I beg your pardon.
You know how you guys have jokers in your year of shame? My joke is I'm allowed to play the Richard card once in real life, and something bad goes away, and Richard comes and solves it.
I could fix a lot of shit given what's in my house.
Like when we got that taxi.
Yeah. Matt's seen what's in my house. I can fix a lot of shit that might happen to somebody who's not necessarily unfair.
I think that might be one of my favourite Matthew Moore memories. Just because we'd finally got over to the expo after a pretty heavy first night. I think we can say without going into details. With me, you, Watley and Ollie. And we finally got over to the expo and you got into the atrium bar and just went, I need to go. And we got a cab back. We got a cab back to the Dragon with Rich, and Rich had to pay for it.
No. I seem to remember that I managed to survive. I survived the expo and I survived the atrium.
I'm not sure you survived them.
We then got a taxi back and I wasn't doing well. And then we walked to the Dragon. And it was while at the Dragon, somebody bought me a drink. It may have been you, Rich. and I just said, I have to leave.
You went to bed for like the rest of the day.
So I went back to the that terrible hotel. I mean, I was saying to Darren, why did we spend 4 years staying at the worst hotel in the world for the sake? I mean, like, I'm not made of money, but I've also got an expendable bit of money here and there. I should probably invest in some comfort, which is what we started to do lately because we're all getting fucking old. But I got back and I got a pizza delivered to my room, and I think I put my laptop on their terrible Wi-Fi and watched Countdown. I watched Countdown and I was ill and I felt bad.
I wish I'd done that because by the time we got to the live recording of that podcast, I think I was pretty much dead. When you got me up for that quiz, because you picked me because I clearly was the person that was worst for wear in the room.
If someone's going to be worse than Matthew today, it's probably Toby.
Yeah.
Matt has to be bad because I beat you at the Mallet game.
Do you mean fist as fist? Come on, stay on brand,
yeah,
Richard.
Come on.
Yeah, what time is it?
It's not that late, dude.
No,
and it's bank holiday weekend.
I'm on to bottle of white wine 2.5.
Two. Right now. I like the fact that what you just said was, I'm on 2 glab bottle and a half.